I never thought one piece of paper could destroy everything I believed about my family. But sometimes the truth is hiding right under our noses. My name is Sarah. I am 23 years old. I live with my parents and my younger brother Tom. Tom is 13 now. He loves soccer and video games. My father works in a bank. My mother is a teacher. We are a normal family. At least, I thought we were. My father has always been my hero. When I was little, he read me stories every night. He taught me to ride my bike. He helped me with my homework. When other kids had problems with their dads, I felt lucky. My dad was the best father in the world. Last Tuesday was like any other day. I came home from work at 6 p.m. Mom was cooking dinner in the kitchen. The smell of chicken filled the house. Tom was doing his homework at the table.
Sarah, can you call your father for dinner?
Mom asked me. Sure, I said. I walked upstairs to Dad's study. The door was open. I could see him sitting at his desk, but something was strange. He was holding a piece of paper. His hands were shaking. He looked sad. When he heard my footsteps, he quickly put the paper inside a thick book. The book was blue. It was about history. I had seen it many times before. Dad, dinner is ready, I said. He turned around fast, too fast. His face was red. His eyes looked worried.
Oh, Sarah, you scared me,
He said. His voice was not normal. It was high and nervous. Are you okay? I asked.
Yes, I'm fine. Just reading some old work papers.
He said. He stood up quickly.
I'll come down in a minute.
I nodded and went back downstairs, but I felt confused. Dad never acted like this before. What was in that paper? Why did he look so scared? After dinner, I helped Mom clean the dishes. Then I went to my room, but I couldn't stop thinking about Dad, about that paper, about his scared face. An hour later, I heard Dad's car leave the driveway. This was my chance. I walked upstairs to his study. My heart was beating fast. I felt like I was doing something wrong, but I needed to know what was in that paper. I found the blue history book on his desk. I opened it. There, between page 45 and 46, was a white envelope. My hands were shaking as I took it out. The envelope was old. The paper was yellow. Someone had written Dad's name on it in beautiful handwriting. I opened the envelope carefully. Inside was a letter. It was dated April 15th, 13 years ago. I was only 10 years old then. Tom was just a baby. I started reading. My dearest Michael, I thought about your question for many weeks. I know you love me. I love you too. I have loved you for 2 years now. But I cannot do this. You have a wife. You have a beautiful daughter. You have a new baby son. I cannot build my happiness on someone else's broken life. I know this will hurt you. It hurts me too. But it is the right thing to do. Please don't try to find me. Please don't call me. I am moving to another city. I will start a new life. I will love you forever. But we cannot be together. Goodbye, my love. Emma. The letter fell from my hands. I sat down on Dad's chair. I felt sick. I felt dizzy. My father wanted to leave us. 13 years ago, when Tom was just born, Dad wanted to leave our family for another woman, for Emma. I put the letter back in the envelope. I put it back in the book. I closed the book, but I couldn't close my mind. Everything changed in that moment. The father I loved, the father I thought was perfect, was a stranger now. I went back to my room. I lay on my bed. I stared at the ceiling. I felt like someone had died, but Dad was still alive. He was downstairs watching TV with Mom and Tom. I heard his laugh from the living room. The same laugh I had loved all my life. But now it sounded different. Now it sounded false. Dad came upstairs an hour later. He came to my room to say goodnight. This was our tradition, every night since I was little.
Good night, sweetheart.
He said. He kissed my forehead. I wanted to push him away, but I just said, "Good night, Dad." He smiled, the same smile I had always trusted, but now I saw something else behind it. Guilt? Sadness? I didn't know. After he left, I cried. I cried for the father I thought I had. I cried for the hero who never existed. The next days were hard. I watched Dad at breakfast. I watched him read his newspaper. I watched him hug Mom goodbye before work. Was it real love? Or was he just pretending? I looked at Tom. He was eating his cereal and talking about his friends. Did Dad ever want Tom to be born? Or was Tom the reason Dad couldn't leave us? I watched Mom. She was making Dad's lunch with a smile. She had no idea that 13 years ago, her husband almost left her for another woman. Dad still went to his study every evening. Now I knew why. He was reading Emma's letter. He was remembering her. After 13 years, he still loved her. I kept the secret. What else could I do? If I told Mom, it would destroy our family. If I told Tom, it would hurt him. He loved Dad so much, but keeping the secret was destroying me. I couldn't look at Dad the same way. When he helped me with my car problems, I felt grateful but also angry. When he asked about my job, I answered, but I didn't trust him. The worst part was that he noticed.
Sarah, are you okay?
He asked me one evening.
You seem different lately.
I wanted to scream. I wanted to show him the letter. I wanted to ask him about Emma. But instead I said, "I'm fine, Dad. Just tired from work." He nodded, but I saw worry in his eyes. I don't know if I will ever forgive him. Maybe I don't want to. But I know one thing. I will never see my father the same way again. What do you think? Can Sarah keep the secret all by herself? Or does she need to share it with someone? If you enjoyed the story, hit the like button and subscribe for more. Lesson of the day. Right under our noses. Right under our noses means something is very close or obvious, but we don't see it. Example from the story. But sometimes the truth is hiding right under our noses. Extra examples. The wallet was right under our noses, on the desk. The answer was right under our noses the whole time. My glasses were right under my nose, but I didn't see them.